What up, guys? Level 5, Kevin High. Mr. Johnson here for another wonderful, exciting day of Management Day Wild. Natural Resource Management, Environmental Science, all in a nutshell. This chapter, y'all, as we get introduced to the survival unit here at Kevin High School. Today's lecture is an introduction to preparation and survival skills. One of the first things that they always ask you to do, and this will be from your last unit in your today's 100 book. I know for some of you it's a sad time, but hey, all good things must come to an end. One of the things that I should do is to have a hunting plan. Talk about what your daily activity is going to be, where you plan on being, where you're going to hunt, what species are you hunting, how long are you going to hunt. All those things are good and appropriate. However, in a more modern 2021 world, the most important thing you can do is A, let your parents know what you're doing. B, let them know who you're going to be with, how long you're going to be, this and that. C, keep your cell phone charged. D, try not to play too much games up in the deer stand or the duck blind, okay? Keep it in a safe, dry place. E, have other forms of communication in case your cell phone service has none, which in a lot of places here in West Tennessee, even with all this cool technology that we do have, it just doesn't happen. So please make sure you got those things appropriate. Let somebody know where you are. That way, if something happens to you at the end of the day, you are accounted for. And if you're not accounted for, people can start making moves to try to find you quickly before things get into serious survival mode. On the next page, it talks about physical conditioning and clothing. For West Tennessee, relatively flat. To go fishing behind JJ's Pond doesn't take a lot of physical conditioning, if you will. You can tell by my shape, I'm more of that round shape. So you want to make sure y'all, that if you're fishing or something like that for the day, doesn't require it. That's one thing. Going to Western Colorado for a week-long elk hunt, you need to be in much better shape. You need to go on and start planning a couple months in advance of getting in shape rather than the week before. Heave ho. By then it's too late. The air is much thinner. Elevation can be the difference between 1 to 2 miles in Colorado. And if you're going to be going up and down mountains trying to hunt that elusive elk buck, or elk bull, I should say. Elk buck. Rude. All right. You need to be planned. Make plans, okay? So conditioning is important. Make sure that you are in shape, not so much as round shape. Clothing. It talks about clothing on page 102. You can always take off clothes, but you can't ever put on clothes once you're out and about. I strongly suggest that you always dress in layers. You dress for warmth. You dress for the appropriateness, protecting your face. From Snowmageddon 2021, we found out, even here in West Tennessee, man, it can get cold, right? And so when we was out breaking ice and helping the sheep and the chickens, they got real quick. And so dress for success, and not like the Flavor Flav look of the day, but make sure that you stay warm and you stay comfortable. Nothing can ruin a good hunt, a good hike, a good outdoor, a good backpacking trip than not having the necessary items, and clothing is probably the most necessary. Compass and a map on 103. 104, we're going to talk about that after spring break, next couple weeks. We'll do that before spring break. We're going to have a compass day. Basically, if you don't hear anything else on the compass, red inside the red, we'll have a more detailed lecture through that. We're going to actually show you how to read a compass too. A lot of your compass, though, and your maps can be found. That's right, your cell phone, okay? Now, I still think it's a vital skill for students to know how to read a compass and also read a map, all right? There may be a time where you don't have cell phone service, and that skill is going to come into play, particularly topographical maps. So we'll talk about that more. On page 105, we're talking about survivor skills, and we're going to get to the heart of it. The kids this week started constructing their tents. They got tent obstacle course this week, along with fire building 101. It's going to be a video for next week. It's going to be huge, all right? But you want to make sure on your fire building, y'all, this is the nature. Start small leaves, small twigs, small everything, and eventually build up, make it bigger and bigger and bigger. Fuel, heat, oxygen, some vital stuff to have a fire in your outdoor kit. You should have a first aid kit, something waterproof, lighter, matches, fire starter kit. Oh yeah, okay. Have this, particularly if you're backpacking, hiking, you're going to be outdoors. Nothing like a good warm fire. All right, fire not only can fend off potential situations or predators, if you will, that want to maybe consume your fire or other things. They're scared of fire. They're not used to fire. They wonder what it is. It keeps them stay away. But it could also provide companionship. And so being able to build a fire is one of the most essential skills that we're going to learn this weekend in the Management Day Wild / Environmental Science through hard work and determination. Another skill that we're going to learn is drinking enough water. In your outdoor kit, in your survival kit, in your backpacking hiking kit, you need to have two things amongst that, all the other stuff that we previously said. We're going to have a first aid kit, but one of those are iodine pills. And you can take an iodine pill, you can fill it up with water, like so, okay? 30 minutes after you fill it up with water, drop in your iodine pill, that water is drinkable and it's ready to go, all right? You can also get what's called a Sawyer, like at the Academy or Dick's Sporting Goods, something like that. And within 30, the Sawyer, you're automatic. You're ready to go right then. The iodine pills, 30 minutes, then drinking, okay? You got to drink plenty of water, okay? Even on a winter day, you want to get at least, a half a gallon to a gallon. On a summer day, obviously, 1 to 2 gallons minimum, okay, to keep hydrated. If you keep hydrated, if you keep going, you're going to be happy. You're going to be content. Where problem stuff is you get dehydrated. When you get dehydrated, your body can not only not focus physically, but mentally and emotionally, and that can lead to more problems too. Coupled with extreme weather, we've talked about hypothermia a lot in this class. All right, uncontrollable shivering, slow speed, memory loss, sleepiness, uncontrollable unconsciousness, which can lead to death. In West Tennessee, it doesn't necessarily need to be you fall in the Hatchie or there at the Albine River, Bogata, or Reelfoot, or wherever we're duck hunting, okay? All it needs to be is a 30 to 50 degree day, a lot of wind, and you're not dressed properly, and hypothermia can start, okay? It's exposure to the coldness, okay? Dress appropriately, things of this nature, all right? But rain, snow, sleet, it can all speed up the process, if you will. So keep that in mind. If you fall into one of these places, you need to go and stop your hunt for the day. Go and get out of those clothes as quickly as you can. Hopefully you're hunting with someone in the wintertime, particularly on one of these waters. And you can go and get, your buddy can hook you up with a pair of clothes, and we can get you situated. Not going to be able to hunt that day, but your survival is far more important. If push comes to shove, that help method that we learned in Boater Ed, y'all remember that help method? Anybody? I love talking to myself, man. It's better than Corey Trott, 683-7000. All right. Help. All right. Less escaping of the heat position. Heat escape lessening position. There you go, Mr. Johnson. Help. All right. And so that may too, if both of you fall in. Frostbite can be a thing too. These guys find the North Pole, South Pole. Something a little more prevalent in our neck of the woods is heat stroke, heat exhaustion. This, of course, comes from summertime, being exposed to that sun all day, roofing, construction, landscaping, throwing sod, anything, working on the turf grass, working on the field, scouting cotton, farming. All these things can lead to heat stroke, heat exhaustion if you don't take the proper precaution. Obviously, the number one precaution is what? Drink this. Number two is don't eat a big old meal. Like old JJ, I love that Latino heat. Woo! I love that cheese dip, about 7 tacos. I'm ready to roll, all right? In the summertime, can't do that, all right? Because if you do and you get out there and I'm counting bugs for the next 4 hours, not going to be good, going to be hot, okay? So eating salad, eating greens, eating light, okay? Those are important things. If you feel yourself starting to not sweat, shaking, not sweating, things you need to either get some water, you need to cool off, you need to find some shade. All right, if it becomes a problem, and valve and watery throw up starts to happen, you probably need to knock it off for the day. Try to cool yourself off slowly, okay, but start cooling yourself off, take kinds, okay? Don't over chill. If you feel like you've had a stroke, you need to get to the hospital immediately. You always hear that sad story. It happens once a year on a football field, or it happens out here or whatever. Take the precautions necessary. It's better to go on and wait another day than to me attending something I don't need to attend. First aid kit, we're going to have a lecture on that on down the road, dealing with bleeding, wound care, falling out of the tree stand, snake barn with a snake bite. All right. These are all things we're going to talk about in our first aid lecture day. Guys, this was a quick introduction to preparing and survival skills. We're going to do a little bit this week. In the next 3 to 4 weeks in our classroom, we start our fishing unit. All right. So for any questions, follow us on Twitter at JJFFA. Woo!